What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to TD Fans Talk, guys. As promised and due to popular demand, I told y'all everybody's been asking me all week, "What's up, TD? What's your real, true, honest thoughts about the Rosen and Ryan Fitzpatrick situation?" And the time has come for me to discuss that. So, without further ado, with further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and hit the comment section. Give a shout out to those who are here early. Make sure you hit that like button. Give y'all a shout out, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Lil E man, shout out to you. Thanks for being here, man. M Dolphin fan, what's good with you? I'm great, man. Yeah, I remember you, Lil E man. I'm glad you're back. JC Forrest in the house, my mod, the number one mod, checking in. Is this live, dog? Hey, obviously. Ronnie Grooms, what's up, baby? David Nance, I'm never going to be first. That's out of my control. What up, Inavia Delgado? I don't know if you were first, though. First like. Hey, I'll take that. Hit that like button. 16 in the room, 11 likes. It picks up pretty fast. We'll have 30 in the room within 2 minutes, probably. G Firm says, "What's up?" That's what's up, man. G Firm, I see you. 456 in the house. Saint Nico, what up with you, man? Hey, I'm good, man. Let's see here. No problem, E man. First like, baby, I'm going to stop hitting a thumbs up if I can't be first. Don't be like that, David. Don't be a sore loser. What's up, TD? Love these daily videos. I'm trying, man. I'm just trying to have some fun. Come to y'all every day. Y'all are my family. Y'all are my community, man, and we're going to grow it together, man. I appreciate everybody's love and support. We're at 4,633 subscribers. And, guys, once again, I want to go ahead and let you all know, thank everybody who donates to the channel. Thank everybody who supports the channel. I'm going to be 100 with you all. The best way that you can support this channel is saying, hey, that's my man TD. Here's a video that he did that I liked. Let me hit that share button. Let me let my friends and family members that are also Dolphin fans know about my boy TD. And let me tell them to subscribe to the channel. So let them know we're on a mission to get to 5,000 subscribers. We are not far away. Less than 400 to go, 367 to be exact. Let's do it, guys. Help me get to 5,000. That'll be awesome. But hit that like button. What the like button does, it brings you to the top of the list. When someone says, what's going on with Miami Dolphins? The more likes we have, the higher we are on that list for people to click on, which will bring more subscribers as well, all right? We were supposed to talk, TD. It was hard to reach you. Did you email me, G-Firm? I've been responding to emails all morning to everybody who's emailed me. Hit me up at tdfanstalk@yahoo.com. Just hit me up, bro. Now, I'm going to be honest. I'm not the greatest at checking my emails, but every day or two I check them, and I try to respond, man. So just hit me up, bro. What up, Terrence? Preston Williams is coming to claim a spot. The rest of the receivers need to watch out. Hey, we can talk about that, but we'll talk about it later, man. But right now we're talking Rosen Fitzpatrick. Who do you think should start now? In regards to Rosen Fitzpatrick, we're about to get into it, man. TD Fans Talking at yahoo.com. Hey, Alec, go ahead and get rid of that ing before you confuse people. All right. TD Fans Talk at yahoo.com. Shout out to Adam in the room, by the way. One of my most loyal, one of my most what's the words I want to use? Just one of the best subscribers that I have. One of the best. I don't want to show favoritism, but one of the best subscribers that I have and mods. He definitely takes care of me, man. You good, bro? Word on the street, Fitz Magic. Been doing damage thus far. We finna talk, baby. All right. We got another minute. I usually start the stream at the 5-minute mark, man. We got 28 in the room, 1 minute to go, 15 likes. Come on, y'all know the rules. It's 13 Matt Burke lovers. Don't be a Matt Burke lover. Hit that like button, guys. Next season is about to be lit. I'm telling you, people can hate all they want. They can assume what we're going to be, what we're going to do. I ain't trying to hear all that. We're going to be straight next year, man. All these reports that we're not going to be that. Anyway, I digress on that, man. But again, hit that like button, 29 in the room. Let's see if we can hurry up and get 25 likes before we get started. Punch that like button. For those who don't know where the like button is, remove the chat, hit the like button, bring it right back, man. ESPN has us 0-16, shaking my head. Well, that's probably why FS1 is taking a lot of their views. Let me sip on that note. Talk about my Dolphins. But anyway, hit those likes. I got you, TD. All right, guys. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right in. We're going to talk Ryan Fitzpatrick and Josh Rosen. Everyone already knows that Josh Rosen, we got him via trade during the draft on draft day. It was a pretty good move. I love the move. It was a low risk, high reward move. Now, how has that panned out so far? I will say this to start this off. First and foremost, there's been a lot of reports about OTAs. Josh Rosen on a scale of 1 to 10 is looking like a 4.5, ladies and gentlemen. And then he has moments where he's looking like a 7. But it's still like you would like a quarterback like that to look like a 5.5 and then have moments of an 8. But he's been having like 5.5. He's been looking like a 4.5 and having moments of a 7. And first and foremost, I'm not happy about that, but I make sure that I maintain in my head low risk, high reward. But coming to Josh Rosen's defense, young kid, second year in the league, went through a lot of crazy stuff in Arizona. No protection. Second off, again, he's young, learning a brand new system with advanced coaches. Let's get that straight now. Advanced coaches. These ain't no coaches just coming in, hey, here's the playbook, learn it. When I call it, let's see what you can do. No, these are advanced coaches. You know, he's young. Things are going to happen at this point in his career, and this is where he has to develop. But I would say this about Josh Rosen to come to his defense. This is OTAs. I don't put a lot of merit on offensive linemen and defensive linemen in OTAs and linebackers in some case when it comes to run defense. But when it comes to quarterbacks, wide receivers, and cornerbacks and safeties, I put a lot of merit on them in OTAs. It's still the same guys. In OTAs, I don't care. You can, with pads on or not, though, that group, receivers, cornerbacks, safeties, and quarterbacks. I know pads ain't on, but to me that doesn't matter for those positions. Your opponent has the same advantage that you have. Now, whenever it comes to the line, we can't see strength. We can't see the combination of strength and hands-on as much. Does that make sense? The bang of it, which can make a difference. But for quarterbacks, the bang of it has nothing to do with it in OTAs. For cornerbacks, the bang of it doesn't have much to do for in the open field, not unless you're playing press coverage. For receivers, not unless press coverage is being played against you, the bang has not that much to do with it. Same thing with safeties. So that's what kind of like, oh, come on, Rosen. That's why I was like, yeah, I know people saying OTAs, but at the end of the day, I would have liked to have seen a lot more from the kid. And I'm not going to sit here and say I was disappointed, because it's hard to be disappointed when you're talking about a kid who has 3 days of real live action. 3 days. Let me stop. Not even 3 days, 2 days, y'all. Of live action. It's a progression. It's a building. You know, he got to work those kinks out and be able to settle into what the Miami Dolphins and the coaching staff is trying to do. So right now, if I was to give grades, I'm giving Josh Rosen somewhere around a 6, because that's not like there's moments where he was putting strings together and you saw some really good things. But I give him a 6 out of 10. Is that acceptable to be a starting quarterback for the Miami Dolphins? HE double hockey stick, no. HE double hockey stick, no. Did he look better than a previous quarterback in the name of Ryan Tannehill? No. Not to say he won't. I believe in the kid. I believe in Josh Rosen. Let me just chill. But I believe in the kid. It's early, so we don't have final conclusions, but I wasn't impressed so far. Okay? That doesn't mean we write him off. That doesn't mean it's like, man, here we go again. Get our quarterback next year. It's early, guys. We're evaluating 2 days, okay? But what I do love about the kid, what I do love about this kid, he's unfazed. He's unfazed. He hears what everyone's saying about him. He hears what all the haters are saying. He hears what all the people who like him are saying, but he is unfazed. And I'm just sitting there thinking, you got Fitzpatrick on one field throwing touchdowns here all over the place, and you got him over here trying to get these dink and dunks and making a few good plays, but interception and sacked, not throwing the ball away. And it's easy for a kid to fold under that pressure, like, yeah, I'm going to be the backup. But this kid doesn't fold. He says, yeah, I hear what he's doing over there, but I don't look at it as, oh my gosh, he's outplaying me. I don't look at it as what he did. Wow. I look at it as, how did he do it? Oh my gosh. And TD falls in love with stuff like that. Have I fallen in love with Josh Rosen yet? I'm a hopeful, and that yet, the reason why I put that yet, I'm hopeful for that yet. But the reason why I haven't fallen in love with him yet, because I need so much more. But what I will tell you is that's the type of behaviors that I fall in love with. Even if you're average, I fall in love with, because it gives you room to improve. You have the right mentality and mindset to improve. When he says, I'm not looking over there for what he's doing, I'm looking over there for how he's doing it. Humble and hungry. I don't know if y'all ever heard that term, but humble and hungry is the way to go. That is a clear, humble and hungry comment. Make sure I line it up so y'all see. Humble and hungry, man. So if he does do what he's speaking and learning from what he's doing, how did he do that? That's what it's about. The kid is young. You got to give him the opportunities, right? The good thing is I'm not hearing people badmouth Rosen. You know, I mean, day one for Tannehill. Tannehill looked better than Rosen did. But day one, you had already half the fan base badmouthing him. So I'm happy we're not bad-mouthing the kid. So, and that makes me feel like at least we'll give him a chance through his growing pains. And I like that. I like that. And I'm satisfied and happy about that with our fan base. I mean, it's not stopping them from stating the obvious that right now it doesn't even look like a competition. That's the obvious that's been stated out in Dolphin World. It doesn't even look like a competition. But I'm asking even all my subscribers, maintain that level of not bad mouthing and understand this is a developmental period for this kid. But I love his mentality. And he does, outside of the humble mentality, he also shows you that little gritty edge. He ain't overly doing it, but he's showing you that little gritty edge that I even fall in love with even more. You know what he said leaving OTAs? Mandatory? He said the real competition starts when we come back for training camp. Oh, okay. Put us on notice. How about you? Put us on notice. I appreciate. Okay. Let me step back. I hear you. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not finna be drinking Kool-Aid. Now, TD understands that. TD loves that type of talk. But I do understand that you still got to back it up. But at the end of the day, that's one of the first times I've heard the edge from him. The real competition starts at camp. So who am I to say, you're just going to get blown out? Hey, show us better than you can tell us. So my thing is, I reserve saying, oh, no, you're not going to be none. Oh, you're going to be great. Because there is no sample size for us as a Miami Dolphins outside of 2 days of learning a system for us to evaluate if he's going to be what he says. If he's going to be what he says, like the real competition starts when we come back. Because truth be told, well, we'll get there in a second. I ain't on Fitzpatrick yet, but we're on Rosen. But Rosen, remember, the overall look is like a 4.5, and he has moments of a 7. And like I told y'all, is that good enough to be the starting quarterback for the Miami Dolphins, for TD? HE double hockey stick, no. All right. Now, facts aside, and what I see, because that's just my true assessment. 4.5, we see glimpses of 7. Okay. As a fan of the Miami Dolphins, because I got to start doing that now, because some people take some of the things I say so literal. So I got to make sure you know when I'm dividing. This is my real analysis, and this is my fan analysis. And here's my fan analysis. I think Rosen's going to be okay. Even through all the issues, even through all the mistakes and stuff like that, just hearing another completion from Rosen. Rosen has a nice pass. You see little glimpses here and there. Kid's going to be okay. And if you follow this channel enough, I want to ask you all, my subscribers, those who are here on this live chat right now that are about to hit that like button, because 11 people ain't hit it. But I want to ask y'all in the comment section, why do you think TD says that he believes as a fan that Rosen's going to be okay? Let me see if anybody, in a quick 30 seconds, let me see if anybody can tell me, because I want to see if y'all really pay attention to the logic that I give y'all on this team, on what's going on, how we're going to operate, and what's important and what's not. Why do you think I say Rosen's going to be okay? That doesn't mean he's going to start this year. I don't know. We're going to find out. But why do you think I say Rosen's going to be okay? Why do you think I say that? Anybody can let me know. Is there anybody who can take a crack at let me know why I think Rosen is going to be okay as a Miami Dolphins? He's young. I mean, he's young, but that's not it. Rosen has potential. Coaching. Thank you, Soulful. Let me make sure. This is the test. Can Josh Rosen in a 2-minute drill, can he score a touchdown? But thank you, Soulflo Quan. Coaching, man. What did I tell y'all? I've been telling y'all this for weeks now. When we look at these players and this and that, and this, we got to stop putting so much onus on just the player. We got to start focusing more on the coaches. Josh Rosen's success is going to be a real, and I do mean a real indication of how good O'Shea really is. As the offensive coordinator and the quarterback coach, which I need to do some research on, unless it's just O'Shea, and forgive me, because I haven't done that deep of research. I don't even know who the quarterback coach is, unless it's still O'Shea, which is unacceptable. I don't know. I know half the coaching staff. It's just so many new ones. We'll get there. But that aside, this is going to be a real indication on O'Shea as the offensive coordinator. See, we got to evaluate every aspect of this team. We always sit here talk about players only and this, that, the head coach, defensive coordinator, and we barely talk. Actually, we barely talk about the defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator. But the defensive coordinator, by the way, I just love his. I love his personality. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Our defensive coordinator, I really do love his personality. I mean, he can have a first season like Matt Burke. I'm a dog him, but at the same token, he gonna be all right with me. He only get one season of that. But anyway, and we shouldn't have a problem anyway having Flores developing him. But we need to start evaluating these coaches. Because just imagine, guys, if we just have a trash year in the offense is trash. We can't just be evaluating, but we don't have any talent in the O-line. Sometimes you got to look at that coach. What are they doing? And then you got to look at the head coach. What are you doing with that coach? Or is this the right coach, Flores, for the offense? I'm not saying O'Shea is. I think he is. But we can't forget, we have a coach who I am not going to sit here and say lived off the coattail of Tom Brady. We don't know, but we'll find out this year. Whatever our offense do and whatever O'Shea does will be an indication of how valuable he actually was for the Patriots. People still don't know how valuable he was for the Patriots. You know why? Nobody can say nothing about Bill Belichick because he didn't deal with the offense, okay? But we're going to determine how good O'Shea is based off of how good he runs this offense and how he's able to develop Ryan Fitzpatrick and or Josh Rosen. We don't know how good he really is or how bad he is. I prefer to stick with the good side, regardless. Because imagine if O'Shea comes in and brings us one of the top ranked offenses in the league. Hypothetical. Top 5. Can we finally take us, especially with this talent, is talent, but no names really? Can we finally start to realize that it's not just a Tom Brady? And for the death of me, I believe that. It's not just a Tom Brady. I be trying to preach that all the time. It's the team. Tom Brady out his own mouth. I enjoy the luxury. The reason why I'm not the highest paid quarterback, and he could be, and if he wanted to be, he will be. But he said the reason why I'm not the highest paid quarterback because I enjoy the luxury and keyword advantage of having better players surround me. And everybody want to say, oh, it's Brady and Belichick. It's Brady and Belichick. The man out of his own mouth, I enjoy the luxury and, once again, keyword advantage of having better talent all around me. For the life of me. You know how I always, because some people be getting in their feelings lately for me saying, you don't know football. But I'm going to say it straight up. The people that don't know football don't understand attributables. They don't understand attributables. They just look at Patriots, several Super Bowls, who's the constant in all those situations? Brady and Belichick. They're the reason. No. When they lose, when they let somebody go in free agent, say their replacement is just as good. Their replacement is just as good. They are not the reasons they've been winning Super Bowls. The entire team has been the reason they have been winning Super Bowls. And when I say the entire team, everybody on the roster, the entire coaching staff, the entire front office, all of that is the reason they've been winning football. For the life of me, every time I hear somebody say, oh, Brady and Belichick, the reason they winning the way that they winning, I just think in my head, they just don't know football. They don't know football. Give Brady the trashiest offense in the league. How about you give Tom Brady whatever the worst offense in the league last year? Probably was close to us. No, I wouldn't us. But still, give him the worst offense in the league last year. I guarantee they ain't win a Super Bowl. I guarantee they wouldn't have won a Super Bowl. Guaranteed. But I be trying to let people know that, man. Trying to let people know that. But back to Rosen to finish the conversation about him off. I have high hopes for the kid. I believe he's going to turn out to be something special if given the opportunity. But I will say I put more pressure and responsibility on that happening with our quarterback coach and offensive coordinator, O'Shea. I put that more on them. Of course, Rosen is going to absorb more than 50% of the responsibility regardless. But a huge factor in that is going to be the coaching to develop this young kid. But hey, listen, I just can't wait, man. I can't wait to the real training camp, man. I'm just too anxious. And then we got a freaking month and a half before we even start revving up. Oh, that just aggravates me. It aggravates me. It really does. It really aggravates me. The NFL on a break aggravates me, even though every sport has a break. It just aggravates me because football is so amazing because there's so much involved. It's the ultimate team sport, and there's so much into it, so much to worry about, so much to think about that it's amazing the intricacy of the game of football. And unless you have a great organization that understands that and understands that everything matters, is even the equipment team and how they do things, everything matters if you want to build a long-lasting, successful, winning franchise. Everything matters. And I can tell you now, and somebody said, oh, you're just somebody who think you know it all. I got that in my comment section recently. And I told them just to be smart because I don't think I know it all. I just told them, hey, I agree with your entire comment, just to be smart. But I study this game, man. I study this game. And I like to think that I've even caused some of my subscribers to think of this game in ways that they never thought about it before. Because I've thought about this game in ways that I've never thought before. And I knew I was a good diehard football fan. And coach. I coached. I am a coach, but I haven't coached in, what has it been, since December. And I'm not going to coach this year. So there's so much to this game, man. And people don't understand some of those small, intricate little things make huge difference. They think it's just what happens on the field, and that couldn't be more wrong. They think it's just what happens on Sunday, Thursdays, and Mondays, and they couldn't be more wrong. This game is intricate, man. So Josh Rosen, I think if things work out the way that I'm hoping they do, Josh Rosen is going to be, you see how I gave him a 4.5 and we see glimpses of 7s? I think Josh Rosen, and to be honest, all we need Josh Rosen to do is end this season at a 6.5 and we see glimpses of 8s. That's all we need. See, TD ain't rushing his development. People want him to come in and be the guy right now, running his franchise, taking us to the playoffs, and maybe even winning a playoff game. You're giving the kid too big of expectations. Those are hefty expectations. Well, TD Mahomes did it in his second year. Why are you comparing a quarterback with someone in a totally different situation? A quarter is a totally different situation. Behind one of the best offensive lines in the league. Weapons galore. Total different situation. Total difference, man. And like I told y'all before, when these other quarterbacks get their first big deal, I guarantee you the play of the team, maybe not the quarterback, never said the quarterback, but the play of the team that they're on will decline. Look at the Eagles offering $32 million a year for Wentz. Oh my gosh, decline. I don't care what you say. It's been proven. Go look at it. Every quarterback getting these new big deals in the last 2 to 3 years, the team declined right after. Immediately after. I'm not talking about gradual. Immediately. This started with the Tannehill era. We're going to get on Fitzpatrick in a moment. But this started back in the Tannehill era. Tannehill, Cam Newton, Andrew Luck, RG3, the Kaepernick, Russell Wilson. Right? That's when it started. And everybody wants to ignore the facts. Ever since all of those guys got their big deal, who's still doing their thing? Cam Newton ain't the same player from his rookie contract when he was balling out. RG3 ain't even in the league, I don't think. Kaepernick, regardless of the social issues, the year before the social issues, no. Didn't look great at all. Russell Wilson still playing top-level, high-caliber football. But the team never been the same since his rookie contract. Never. And now it's about to get even worse with the newer deal. Andrew Luck, soon as he got his deal, team went down, but they put money. The good thing about the Colts that I do appreciate, even though they gave him money and they ain't given him the new big deal yet, but ever since they gave him his money, when he was hurt, they were able to go in. The only priority they had when he got hurt was we invested everything in his protection. We invested everything in his protection, and that's what they did. But you also take a loss on the defensive side of the ball because of the type of money that you give them. Any one of them. I know I'm missing another 2 or 3 that I already named, but every single one of them, this is what happened. Every single one of them. The team can't afford to have talent, cumulative talent. See, people think just because you got 2 great defensive players that you signed in free agency and everybody else okay, and then on the offense you got like 2 more weapons to go with that high-paid quarterback and everybody else okay, that's fine. No. Brady literally, tell me somebody on the Patriots starting roster, starting 11 on offense and starting 11 on defense that's rated under a 5 on a scale of 1 to 10. Might not even be rated under a 6. 22 players on their team, starting offense and starting defense, rated under a 5 or a 6. No, they got a whole bunch of 7s and 8s filling the roster. You know why? Because Brady saving them $20-something million a year. Brady could be making, with today's checks, Brady could be making $40 million a year, but the man pulling in 16, 17 or something like that. Do you know what a team can do with an extra $23 million a year? Do you know what a team can do with an extra $23 million a year? And the Patriots are even smarter. Some of these teams, if they get an extra $23 million a year, they like, who's the good players out there? Let me get, hey, Odell, we got you. Hey, who's the best corner in the league? Hey, we got you. No, that ain't what the Patriots do. The Patriots say, oh, 23 million? Okay. Let's go find a nickel. You know, the highest paid nickel in the league get paid $8 million. And that's, let's go find one that wants to get paid $6 million. He's about an 8 rated player. He's not a 10 in comparison to nickels. We just need an 8. We ain't got to go get the big one. We can save even more money. Let's go get the 8. There goes $6 million. We got a top nickel on the team. No flaws. Okay, who else? We need another linebacker. We don't need that top paid linebacker for $8 or $9 million. Hey, this guy right here, $5 or $6 million right there. He's an 8. Just flies under the radar. One of the leaders in tackles and plays well in coverage, but he's just not a superstar. Let's go get him. Let's go ahead and grab one more with this 23 money. No, actually two more. Two more with this 23 million Brady saving us. Hey, let's go ahead and grab another guard. You know what? And we ain't got to pay much. This is an 8 rated guard for literally what? $4 million? There are some really good guards out there for cheap. There are some really good guards out there for cheap. The Patriots aren't no freaking fools, man. They out here playing smart, and people are always out here chasing these big names. Oh, Dolphins are. And why you think ESPN keep talking about, the Dolphins are going 0 for 16? Do you know what they use to evaluate that? The talent on the roster. They're disrespecting the talent that we already have. You know why? Because we got a whole bunch of 6, 7s, and 8s. And Flores and company's job is to turn those 6s. Right now on our roster, we got a whole bunch of 6, 7s, and 8s. I mean, Xavier Howard, 9. Tunsil, 9. Rashard Jones, at this stage of his career, 8.8. We got a whole bunch of 6, 7s, and 8s on our roster with a few little uppers, but that's fine. Every team got that, even the Patriots, obviously. And all those AFL players, some of them are some really good 5s. And Flores' job is just like the Patriots, what they do every year. We're not trying to bring in anything under a 5, but we can grab a whole bunch of 5s. See, you know how we got a 91-man roster, and I'm gonna get on Ryan Fitzpatrick, but I gotta get this out to help people that are new to this channel understand my mentality about a team. It's not about the big names, okay? But a 91-man roster when you can only take 53 in the war in the regular season. Patriots ain't picking up a whole bunch of 3s and 4s and like, hey, can we develop them? No, they're picking up a whole bunch of 5s. What do we have to do to make some of these guys 7s? And at the very bottom of our roster, what some people would call trash, the very bottom of our roster, after we done developing them and it's game time, they're 6.5s at least. That's what it's about, man. That's what it's about, man. So these coaches' job is to develop this talent, man. And that's what I think they're going to do. They're going to focus on developing talent and having a roster full of 6, 7s, and 8s and bring those 6s to 7s, those 7s to 8s, and those 8s to 8.5 to 9s. And then we got a well-rounded roster that nobody know the names of, but they wondering why we 8-2. They wondering why you see what I mean? They wonder, the Dolphins, they just been. See, this year they can't make an excuse. They can't make an excuse. Well, you got to look at who they've been playing. No, we got a tough schedule. We got a tough schedule. Anytime we play the NFC East, that's tough, man. The Eagles, the Redskins, who was leading their division last year until the quarterback went down, the Cowboys. Who that last one? And the Giants. We better beat the Giants. But anyway, we got a tough schedule, man. We got a tough schedule this year. And I'm going to do another stream on the schedule coming up pretty soon. I already talked about the schedule, but I'm going to actually talk about my thoughts on the teams that we're playing. We're going to do a stream on that at some point. You acting like our QB's making $34 million a year. Let's worry about getting a franchise guy and worry about salary later. After that, 5-year rookie deal. J Rose, I mean, what are you talking about? I'm not acting like that. I'm not acting like that. I'm not acting like that at all. I know that our quarterback isn't making that kind of money. That's why I've praised the moves that we've made. That's why I have praised the move that we made. Another thing, J Rose, if you understand, if you really listen to my streams, you'll also furthermore understand my logic when it comes to quarterbacks and our young one. Let me give you an example. Josh Rosen balls out this year. And this is, and I'm gonna go ahead and, since we're still talking about Josh Rosen, I'm gonna talk about the future of Josh Rosen. Things can go two ways, okay? He can either be three ways it can go. He could be a flop and we got to back up, and at some point we done with them. That's one way it can go. Number two, he can be amazing. End up going to the Pro Bowl a year or two from now. Who knows? And he gets his new deal. The problem with that, here's the scary thing. This is why I do worry about it now, J Rose. This is why I do worry about it now. If Josh Rosen comes out and he puts up Mahomes type numbers, hypothetically, of course, he puts up Mahomes type numbers for 2 years straight after this year. Talk about next year and the year after. 2 years straight, he puts up Mahomes numbers. According to your comment, obviously, he's our guy now, right? You say that's where we need to worry about getting a franchise guy. That's what we're doing. That's why we're talking about having this conversation to determine if Rosen can turn into the franchise guy. And you're saying worry about salary later. I agree. We have that luxury of worrying about salary later. When I used to have this conversation about paying these quarterbacks all that, it was because we were arguing about the Dolphins picking up a free agent quarterback, giving them a big deal. Remember? What's his name? Foles, Nick Foles. They were talking about Nick Foles to Miami. I didn't want them to give him a big deal because we were going to be dealing with this situation. But say Rosen does ball out, right? And he has a Mahomes type numbers, hypothetically, right? We're talking 2 years from now, J Rose, that we're going to have to sit down in the office and talk about his new contract and actually give it to him. And what I am scared for with these Miami Dolphin fans, our fans, is that if he does have a Patrick Mahomes type few seasons, we're going to be trying to throw the brink truck at him. Everybody always crying about we need our franchise quarterback. But what are you going to do when that same franchise quarterback that you found him becomes a free agent and he's sitting there looking you in the face talking about I want $40 million? And I can care less. I want 20% of the team's cap. One player taking 20%. Do you know how many Dolphin fans have been in my chat talk about pay the guy? That was their conclusion to that. Pay him. And I don't know if you're one of those people who agree with that, but that's the problem. If you find, that's the conversation that we're really having here. If you find your franchise quarterback, which you say that's what we need to be talking about, that's what it's about. If you find him, are you willing with the 190, hypothetically 195 at the time, $195 million cap? Are you willing to give him $40 million a year? Are you willing to give him $40 million a year? And I say everybody that says absolutely because we finally found a guy, you're the problem with why we keep on sucking. And why the teams that keep on giving players big money keep sucking. And let me stop. Sucking is too harsh. Not winning any Super Bowls. How about that? After the deal. That's what I'm talking about here. That's what I'm nervous about with Rosen. That's why I'm also in the state of, please, Miami, I don't mind starting Fitzpatrick and let this kid take his time. We'll know within practice if he's that guy. Everybody's in such a rush. Everybody's in such a rush for him to be the guy right now. Do you know what comes with him being the guy right now? Do you know what comes with that? Do you know what comes with finding your franchise guy right now? It's a potential future of a headache because you either lose him in free agency because he wants $40 million a year, or you keep him in free agency by giving him $40 million a year. And let me say this, Appreciate you, Darrick Huggins. I'm trying to preach. Some people don't want to hear it. Let me give you proof. Y'all know how I love backing it up with facts for all y'all people who want to argue my logic. Was Dan Marino not the franchise guy? Hold on. Was Dan Marino not our franchise guy? Did we not find the guy, the elite guy? So tell me why when we had an elite guy, we didn't win a Super Bowl. Woo. Tell me why when we had the guy, we didn't win a Super Bowl. One more time. Tell me why when we had the guy, we didn't win the Super Bowl. Can people please stop loving on quarterbacks so much? Quarterbacks ain't gonna win you a Super Bowl. This is why I keep telling you it ain't just Brady. Man, I don't know how to explain that in different ways for people. Just don't know how. Don't know. In Muck Boy Box, that 97-98 team, I agree with you. They were the ones that were supposed to go. But here we are talking about supposed to. Supposed to. I bet the Chiefs fans sitting around here talking about that 2018, 2019 team was supposed to go. Man, I'm telling y'all, man. Darrick Huggins, thank you. For some reason, people don't want to listen to the GOAT himself, Tom Brady. And it hurts me to say that, man. Because we would have had the GOAT if we would have got him a Super Bowl. People don't want to listen to Brady himself out of his own mouth, and he wasn't lying. Why aren't you the highest paid quarterback in the NFL? Because I enjoy the luxury and hashtag advantage of having great players all around me. Not just a few more great players. No, but great players all around me. Do you realize that the Patriots have an all-star team every year? And when I say all-star, of course, they're not all-star, but they got the best. You know, I don't care. I'll argue with anybody. They got the best roster every year. People will sit there and be like this year. They'll sit there and be like, oh, this Browns roster is better than the Patriots roster last year. Why? Because they got 6 big names? How about you go ahead and name the rest of those guys on the roster? The Browns roster look like this on a player rating of 1 to 10. 10, 9, 9, 9, 8, 8, 8, 8. 6, 6, 6, 6. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 3, 3, 3. That's what their roster look like. You know what the Patriots roster looked like last year? 10, 10, 9, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. That's the difference. I hope you understand that logic. That is the difference between these teams going out there getting 7 great players and then the rest of the rosters are like 6 5s and below versus the Patriots. 2 great players, a really good one, and everybody else 7s or 8s. That's the difference. Stop falling in love with these quarterbacks because these quarterbacks are going to get their money and ruin your franchise and don't think twice. You know why the quarterbacks don't think twice? Well, I'm doing my part. It ain't my fault they can't get me the protection I need. Well, the reason why we can't get hey, that's out of my hand. That's y'all business. That's y'all business. Tell me I'm wrong. That's what the quarterbacks are thinking. These really good quarterbacks, that's exactly what they're thinking. I'm going after my money. And I'm not saying nothing's wrong with that. Don't get TD mixed up with people who saying, oh, the quarterback shouldn't get paid. No, that ain't what I'm saying. But what I am saying is, don't be the franchise that falls into the trap. The only reason, and people talk about, but that's what the market dictates. That ain't what the market dictates. Sorry teams are making the market look like it dictates that. We can name 5 franchises right now that are just trash. And what I mean by, and not trash like that, but what I mean by trash is notoriety. They just don't have great fan bases. It's like the Nets of the NBA. It's like the Phoenix Suns of the NBA. Nobody wants to go play there. There's no notoriety there. Nobody cares about them. So what do those teams always do? Overpay for the Pelicans, overpay for the biggest names so that they can stay relevant. And why are they never able to get pieces around those biggest names? Why are they never able to get pieces around those biggest names? That's the same thing, just like the NBA, man. Small market teams, and they overpay. Just because they overpay and they bring the value up in the market, don't mean it's a good deal. Don't be one of those teams that falls for that. By us falling for that, we're becoming a smaller market team. The Miami Dolphins is a large market team. Do you know over the last 10 years, our market has been falling and falling, and we're still a large market team? But we keep on doing this stupidity. We're going to be just like the rest of these teams that nobody even want to go to. The only thing we got left in our city to look forward to is the fact that players want to come to the city because of the city, because it's Miami. Do you realize that's all we got to hold on to? That's all that the Dolphins have to hold on to with big free agents? 2 things that get big free agents to Miami. It ain't the winning culture. It ain't it ain't none of that. It's a player thinking in their head, it's Miami, and they're offering me more than anybody else. We're becoming one of those. We're in the last 10 years, we've been doing things that small market teams do. I digress, man. Moving on, man. Before we get to Ryan Fitzpatrick, let me check y'all out, man. Nets are good. KD might go there. KD might go there with a max deal, and you say Nets are good. Well, they're building. Maybe they've smartened up, man. It's the NBA. You can afford that one big guy, and maybe 2. But again, how much are they going to be able to afford if they bring in 2 max players? How much are they going to be able to afford around those max players? You see what I mean? That's what it's about, man. Look at Toronto. They got one guy, and everybody else, they got good deals for. Smart team. All right, no other QB is Brady, though. I get that. Even if we have a team full of 7s and 8s, if we the QB gonna make his money anyway. Only Tom Brady is taking major pay cuts. I get that, J. Rose, but that's why take Tom Brady out of the equation, right? If you look at history, let me show y'all something. Take Tom Brady and all his Super Bowls and the Patriots out of the equation. Let's look at everybody else that has won Super Bowls. Quarterback was on a small deal, rookie deal, or a small deal, or it was an average quarterback. Think about it. Can you name in the comment section, if you disagree with me, can you name in the comment section what elite quarterback off of their rookie deal, what elite quarterback off of their rookie deal that was getting more than $25 million a year won a Super Bowl? Well, we already know that because of $25 million a year plus guys have been that just started about 7 years ago, 6 or 7 years ago. But if you look at it no, Russell Wilson won on his rookie deal. Let's get it straight. He won on his rookie deal. Then he got his money. They've been a good team because of the defense. But after a while, when those guys came up for free agency, they couldn't afford it. They couldn't afford it at all. At all, man. Peyton. No, you can't say now, Big Ben. Like I said, look at the time frame I said, y'all. I wonder, when is the last time Ben Roethlisberger won a Super Bowl anyway? Let me see. Ben Roethlisberger Super Bowl. Let's see. That's a good question. Let's see. Do y'all know when Ben Roethlisberger won the Super Bowl? I'll do you one better. I'll just pull up Super Bowl winners. Because I'm telling you, it had to be a long time ago when those contracts weren't big. It had to be more than 7 years ago, y'all. Had to be more than 7 years ago. All right, here we go. List the Super Bowl winners. Let's go down the line. Let's go down the line here. Super Bowl winners. Patriots, Eagles, Wentz. How much was Wentz getting paid? You see what I mean? And on a young deal. And as a matter of fact, it wasn't even Wentz. It was Foles. It was Foles that won it. But regardless, look at both quarterbacks in their pay. Right? Let's keep it going. Patriots, Broncos. The Broncos, that was he went to the Super Bowl, but he lost. And that was Peyton Manning. And they had the squad around him. They actually paid more. They actually paid a premium just that assemble that team together. Let's see. New England again. Seattle. Back in 2014. Wait, did they win that one? Did they win that one? And that was Russell right at the end of his rookie. That was Russell right at the end of his rookie during that phase. And that was 2014. See how long ago? 2014 was almost 5 years ago. You see, he done even outlived his new deal. And remember, that was when Russell Wilson them got the new deal. When his new deal is when he played against the Patriots, but they lost. And that was the last year they could actually afford the Legion of Boom. Then they start falling apart because they couldn't afford them. They didn't fall apart because they didn't want the guys anymore. You heard the rest of that secondary talk about it's time for me to get paid. And they couldn't keep them. They let them go. And then what happened when they let them go? What have the Seattle done ever since? They can't, because they can't afford the defense. Why couldn't you afford the defense? I digress on that one. All right, let's keep it going. New England again. Baltimore. Who was Baltimore's quarterback? Was it a mediocre quarterback or was it an elite quarterback? Was it an elite quarterback or a mediocre quarterback, guys? And it was a younger Joe Flacco. People forget that. That was a younger Joe Flacco. Still on a young deal. Still on his young deal. Soon as he got his money, which he got a big deal too. That was the era of one of the first mid-level big deals where it was almost like 20, 22 a year or something like that. You see what I'm saying here? All you need is a mediocre quarterback to win the Super Bowl. You just need a great team around you, a good team around you with a great defense. That's the real key to winning Super Bowls. Average quarterback who doesn't lose you games. They don't have to be the ones winning you games. They just have to be the one that don't lose you games. Throwing turnovers and doing all that. I will go down as the one who always tells you, you don't need an elite quarterback to win Super Bowls. You're just blinded by Tom Brady. Everybody's being blinded by Tom Brady. Truth be told, some people would tell you Tom Brady is above average. He just got great talent all around him. When have we ever seen Tom Brady not have great talent all around him? So when have we ever seen Tom Brady in a situation where he didn't have talent all around him, where he didn't have a roster full of 7s and 8s? That's my whole point I'm trying to get across to people. You don't know because you've never seen him in a situation like that. Because he ain't stupid. He ain't gonna put himself in a situation like that by taking $40 million a year, $30 million a year. And guess what? That makes his legacy flawless. Tom Brady knows good and well if he had trash all around him on that team and flaws all through that team, he wouldn't be the same guy we talking about today. He would still be a really good quarterback. But I mean, y'all can disagree with me, but I personally believe he wouldn't be no better than the Matt Ryans of the world. One moment, guys. What happened? What happened? Baby, you shouldn't be jumping. What did I tell you? We heard that. Stop jumping, man. Give me a second. One moment, y'all. Got the little ones jumping in the room. Y'all already know. They watching their little movie, and then he decides he wants to jump and hit his shoulder on the dresser. Let me get him some ice and calm him down. Here, man. Just sitting on the spot. You see why I tell you gotta stop jumping? Stop jumping. Just stop. Let me gear up. Lord. 7-year-olds, man. Ooh, 7-year-olds, man. Jumping in the room. Anyway, 7s and 8s name. But like I was saying, man, it doesn't matter. All you need is a mediocre quarterback, man. That's all you need. And let me not say mediocre. Above average. Yeah, like I would look at the quarterbacks that are on like the top 32 quarterbacks in the league. I would look at the guys between the range of 10 and 18. The guys between 10 and 18, they could win you. They can win you a Super Bowl. The guys between 10 and 18 can win you a Super Bowl. Okay? The problem is some of them even get big heads as they're above average and they take their money. And I'm not going to say they get big heads because they right to take their money. But let me tell you the perfect situation. Miami has to win a Super Bowl while we got a young quarterback. But the beautiful thing about why I keep saying we don't need to rush Josh Rosen is for the simple fact that if you play Fitzpatrick, right, and Rosen's progressing and getting better, and then next year you still got Fitzpatrick under contract, even though it ain't all guaranteed, you can let him go. You keep Fitzpatrick if he had a successful season, and you play him again, and then you start ushering in the Rosen era at times. Does that make sense? And then that year, right before his big deal, what I try to explain to you all, if you see enough right then and there, now you sign him on the deal. You can still get a Josh Rosen if he turns out to be that guy, and he has a whole season left. And we're like, oh, man, he's the guy. We need to start him. What are we doing? Fitzpatrick don't need to start. Look at Rosen. Right then and there at that moment, if you know this guy is capable and he's that guy and he don't want a few games in Rosen where you done gave the shift and let him start getting his feeling in this league, Then you offer him his new deal, and you can literally get a 5-year deal worth of $95 million or something like that. Maybe even $100 million. But you got a $20 million a year quarterback, and he will accept it because he doesn't have a large sample size where the rest of the league gets to see him in game time other than a few games or 8 games or something like that. But he'll accept that type of deal. You got to play this the smart way. You have to play it the smart way. This is why I think the smart thing for the Dolphins to do, if he ain't the clear-cut front runner. See, some people would say Fitzpatrick is playing at a level of 8 and Rosen is playing at a level of 7. We should start Rosen, though, because he's younger. He's our future. I disagree, because all you're doing is, and say he does turn out to be the future, all you're doing is bringing in a quarterback that's playing very well and building his value and basically saying, yeah, I'm about to be a $30 million a year guy. Instead, you got a quarterback that's capable and you ain't got to rush Rosen. And once you determine he is our future guy, he's doing pretty well. And people start, then why aren't we starting him? We shouldn't. Even if he's doing very well, I don't think we should be starting him because it's going to hurt us long term. This is a play that I think that the Dolphins need to consider. Ryan Fitzpatrick played this year. Even if Rosen starts emerging, next year, Ryan Fitzpatrick plays and Rosen start getting a few snaps, even having one of them dual quarterback situations, and let the media talk about it all they want. Oh, Rosen's playing better than Fitzpatrick now, if it happens, by the way. Oh, Rosen's playing better than Fitzpatrick. We need to just play him for the rest of the whole season. No, just keep doing what you're doing, coaches. Now that's 2 years down. Now he only got one more year with Miami. He only has one more year with Miami. And right before that year starts, if you know he's the guy, offer him a deal and you're going to get a massive discount. Now you got 5 more years of Josh Rosen at about $20 million a year, running the ship, winning Super Bowls. Well, guess what? Guess what's happening 2 years from now if we're able to offer him that deal and it all works out this way? Guess what happens then? You got nothing but talent on the roster because you done built the rest of the squad around him. But you done built the squad around him that's going to last for a minimum of 5 to 6 years. 5 to 6 years. Hopefully that makes sense to some of y'all. That's what you have to do. But if you go ahead and determine right now, just hypothetically in training camp, Rosen balling out, he's actually better than Fitzpatrick, and Fitzpatrick playing well, let's start Rosen. What do you think's going to happen when Rosen balls out? Then he balls out next year. And then we got to offer him a freaking $150 million contract or something like that. And then we're going to sit there and be like, man, we done got a lot of good draft picks in the past. How are we going to pay everybody? I done gave y'all this example 50 million times. If Rosen's and this is all if he works out. If Rosen, because the cap will go up a little, if Rosen's getting $40 million a year, Xavier Howard getting, he getting $16 million a year? If Rosen's getting 40, Xavier Howard getting 16, that's 2 players, talk about $56 million. By that time, Minkah Fitzpatrick gonna want his 15. 66, 71 million on 3 players. During that time, Tunsil gonna be getting his 15. You see where I'm going with this? Before you know it, we gonna look up and we paying 5 players $100 million. Half of our entire salary is $100 million before we look up. By that time, Christian Wilkins gonna be talking about, hey, it's my turn. Do you see where I'm going with this? And then we gonna sit back wondering, oh man, we got a lot of Pro Bowlers and talent. Why can't we never win? Because we did it again to ourselves. We developed young talent, and then we had to listen to the people that didn't know football talk about Dolphins need to stop letting their best talent go. We need to sign our best talent. If we sign our best talent 3 years from now, 5 guys are going to allocate almost $100 million. How do you survive paying another 46 guys $100 million? Do you know that's an average of $2.1 million per player on our roster? Do you know what $2.1 million per player on your roster gets you? A whole bunch of 4s and 5s. Do you get my point now? That's why you got to play it the smart way. You got to be smart. That's why I like what they're doing with the running back core. That's why I like what they're doing with the wide receiving core. Our running back core right now, it's built. Our running back core with the 4 running backs that we have, including the undrafted and the drafted, the 4 running backs that we all like, but 2 of them unproven. Balaj is technically unproven, but so is Drake at Balaj's point. The way our running back core is set up right now is that if Drake wants big money, buy Drake. Balaj is your turn. Whoever behind him is your turn to be Balaj. You see what I mean? That's what it's about. You can't fall in love with these guys wanting all this money. You're supposed to build a roster that has his replacement behind them if he want to keep on, if they want the big money. You cannot tell me a team who has built a Super Bowl winning franchise that fell in love with a guy. My proof's right here. I just went over the proof, didn't I? Only the Patriots. Only the Patriots. And that's because of the price that they paid for Brady. But Belichick tell you himself. Belichick traded for a left tackle last year. Some of y'all may not know this. Belichick made a trade for a left tackle, all-pro left tackle, on his contract year. There are 31 teams in this league that would have, after this left tackle was all-pro, named all-pro, and might I add, outside of being named all-pro, won a Super Bowl, would have been, all right, we got to figure out how we can re-sign this left tackle. You know what Belichick did? He traded for the guy to rent him for 1 year. You know what he did right after that? Hey, man, congratulations, you're a Super Bowl winner, but we never intended to pay for you. We just gave away a draft pick to get you. And a guy, we never intended to pay you. We just get the pieces we need to win a Super Bowl, and now that you're due your big money, go be successful somewhere else. We're proud of you. Thank you for helping us win a Super Bowl. The replacement we got for you anyway, we just wanted him to sit behind you for a year, and he's the new guy on a rookie deal. And you know what? When that guy becomes a Pro Bowler, that replacing the All-Pro that won a Super Bowl last year, they're going to get rid of him too. They are building their team to where they will never fall in love with any specific player that wants to be overpaid. Why did you think they brought in Garoppolo in the first place? Because they didn't know if Brady was going to take another hometown discount. All these rumors about, because they were looking for Brady's future QB. No, they didn't know if Brady was going to take a hometown discount. He took it. All right, bye. They let him go. They didn't need him anymore. They brought in Brady. Garoppolo was supposed to be his replacement. And we all know the rumors. Brady didn't like it. I get all of that. But at the end of the day, Brady did what he had to do to shut that down. I keep taking the same money I've been taking. Oh, well, bye, Garoppolo. That's why the same organization saying all these rumors about the Garoppolo and how we're butting because I didn't want. None of that was true. That's what it's about. Same thing with the wide receiving core. Kenny Stills been balling out. We have a succession plan for Kenny Stills. That's why they gave Devontae Parker another deal. The way they did, restructure that $5 million per or whatever it is. You have to build succession plans on your entire roster, man. Stop falling in love with these big names. Stop falling in love with these guys that want the big money. History shows you who's done it. Who's won consistently, won Super Bowls consistently doing that? Nobody. Nobody has won Super Bowls consistently with big names. Let me not say big names. Nothing's wrong with big names. It's the big names that want the big money. Shout out to Shake Money with the donation. People act Tua is the last elite QB coming out of college. So true, Shay. So true. See, what happens is they see him on a college field, they fall in love, he gets media recognition, and everybody starts spewing his name. And now all of a sudden, since we don't win games, that's who we want. Some people keep on yelling out to a name and don't even know what he does well. Oh, he got a great arm. Oh, really? Really? That's what you saying he does well? What quarterback prospect don't have a great arm? Every single quarterback prospect has a great arm, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, but he's accurate. Really? Really? Can you please show me coverage where he's throwing in triple or double coverage? Can you please show me film where he's throwing while the man's guarding and he places it right where it needs to be? Because I can pull up Tua film. Actually, we did that months ago. We pulled up some Tua film. And oh, he looks beautiful. Look at that great arm that they all have. Oh, but guess what? Oh, he throwing the wide open people all across the field. I'm not taking anything away from the man. All I'm saying is I would love to see some Tua film where the cornerback is draped over his receiver, but the receiver has half a step on his guy, and he places it with a defender reaching out, and it goes right over his hand. I would like to see him throwing in slants where defenders are closing in, and he squeezes it right where it needs to be. We fall in love with people who got 6 seconds to throw the ball, and when they throw it, the wide receiver actually has to slow down to catch it. Or already standing in the end zone stationary. Bam. We fall in love with people like that. For the life of me, I don't understand that. We fall in love with people who play for the best team in the college football, who is surrounded, just like Brady might have add, by a whole bunch of eights. And then half the teams in their conference, like we fall in love with players that got, why are we falling in love unless you on defense? Now, I don't care what team you play for. If you on defense, I give you all the respect in the world because you're already at a disadvantage in today's football. But on offense, why you want me to respect the Alabama offensive player? And this ain't a Drake conversation if y'all think that. I'm just saying in general. Why you want me to respect the offensive player from Alabama when he got a 5-star offensive line? In 80% of the games you play in your conference is against a 2-star or a defensive line. Why you want me to respect the player like that? If you coming from a top team on offense that has one of the best recruiting classes, that has one of the best recognitions, why you want me to respect that? Why you want me to be high on players like that? Truth be told, they are unproven. Truth be told, that's like you playing your team being all Madden and you playing against guys on easy. Why you want me to respect that, guys? Why you want me to respect that? I just can't, man. The reason why I say defense on Wetson, why I can respect those guys on top teams, because a cornerback still got to guard his man out there one-on-one in a lot of situations. A nickel still got to cover his guy across the field one-on-one in a lot of situations. It's not just it's not the help defense that's always helping them. That's not always the case. Now, the defensive line, I would say I respect, but I don't give as much. I get that. But when you talk about secondary on defense, if you a stud, I don't care what team you play for. If you a stud, you a stud. But why y'all want me to fall in love with these college guys that got it made? Offensive line abusing the opposing defensive line, and you want me to be excited about a quarterback that sit back there and got forever to throw. A quarterback that got wide open wide receivers, the best wide receivers in college football in some cases, against some of the worst secondaries in football. Come on, guys. You can't expect for me to sit here, oh, you hating on this college guy. Can you show me the film yourself where I'm supposed to be excited about it? Anyway, man, on to Ryan Fitzpatrick, man. Ryan Fitzpatrick is doing his thing in the mandatory camps. Ryan Fitzpatrick is balling out right now. He all on ESPN with the no-look pass. That's all good. Truth be told, I'm not sold on Ryan Fitzpatrick either. So it's the exact opposite. I love what he's doing in OTAs. Great start, my dude. Hopefully you can bring that into the regular season and start. Everybody already know. It ain't no secret. He can do this. Everybody knows Ryan Fitzpatrick can do this. The question is, can he do it consistently and maintain? So once again, guess who I'm putting it on? The coaches. Because everybody dogging Ryan Fitzpatrick. Oh, this is the same Ryan Fitzpatrick, but we know that he only got like 5 games like this in him. That is true based off of his history. But again, I have high hopes for him too. You know why? Because I expect our coaches, Caldwell and all those guys, and O'Shea, to make him a consistent, great quarterback. Ryan Fitzpatrick has the intangibles, the arms, and the escapability and everything you need to be an above-average great quarterback that could win you a Super Bowl. But I am putting that on his consistency, I am putting on the coaches. His consistency, I am literally putting on the coaches. It can go 2 ways too, guys. If he plays consistent, I'm not going to say he our long-term franchise quarterback of the future. Age just ain't adding up with that. Even if he still can play another 8 years, he will always be in competition no matter what. I don't care if he has a 5,000-yard season. The next season, he'll still be in competition with somebody. But at the end of the day, he is a good asset to have on this roster, even potentially long-term, even if it emerges as a backup at some point. But let him start until he starts falling. And the good thing for Rosen is if Fitzpatrick plays like the normal Fitzpatrick, he's going to have glimpses, but it's going to warrant Rosen getting some opportunity. But it's going to still, regardless, be a shared opportunity situation. And that works in our favor because, once again, I'm a believer in no need to rush Rosen. No need to rush him at all. At all, man. Fitz, I think, will outshine Rosen. Rosen can learn from Fitz. Ron John Jr. Jackson, I'm kind of hoping that ends up being the case. I'm kind of hoping that Fitzpatrick has one of his best seasons in the NFL because he's going to get the shot. And Rosen gets a few opportunities here and there to get some experience. I'm hoping that our defense is so good that they create scoring turnovers and points in our offense. I'm hoping that we have at least 4 or 5 games in a year where in the fourth quarter we're up by 3 touchdowns and we can say, hey, Rosen, come in here and extend that lead. Show us that you can extend it, not just maintain. And give us a glimpse of what he looks like. You know what I mean? So Fitzpatrick, it's not really much to say. Keep doing your thing, and I look for you to improve getting the opportunity to be the guy. I look for him to improve being the guy, and I hope it turns out that way, man. But I also hope that he improves so much that he's on our roster for the next 6 years. After this 2 years, go ahead and give him a backup deal. And it may not even be a backup at the time. It still might be the starter, even though we're still working on our quarterback for the future, whether that's Rosen or a 2020 draft pick. But truth be told, let me tell y'all something. Rosen can suck like trash this year. Truth be told, we still may not draft the first-round quarterback next year. We might actually draft the quarterback in 2021 early in the draft. The Dolphins are trying everything they possibly can to be able to get another core asset outside of quarterback next year in our first round. I don't even think the Dolphins want a first-round quarterback unless you can get him via trade like Josh Rosen for a better value. I don't even think we want a first-round quarterback. I think we just want to draft a quarterback every year, whether it's 3rd, 4th, or 5th round, and see if we can create somebody. Just like Brady. Just like Fitzpatrick. Wasn't he a 7th rounder or something like that? Come on, man. Fitz will get the first 4 games. After the bye week, it will be Rosen. That means Fitzpatrick not looking good. That's what you're basically saying. But please don't say that if he's looking good. Please don't say that if he's looking good. Yeah, he was a 7th-round pick. I knew he was. I don't know where I remember that from, but I knew he was a 7th-round pick. But I don't even think they want a 1st-round quarterback, man. Because it's not what it's about. You come in as a 1st-round quarterback, you feel entitled, then you want the big money. See, 7th-round quarterbacks don't mind taking team-friendly deals because they were an underdog to begin with, and they respect the team that give them a chance. It's more to this, man. It's more to this. It's politics, man. And when I say the politics, it's the politics of, can we get a guy who understands? See, people underestimate that too. Can we get a guy who understands that he shouldn't want to take big money because he wants to be a great football player and have great pieces around him that's going to allow him to thrive long term? Here's how I look at it. Think about a let me say a RG3 taking less money, or Kaepernick taking less money. Because if you ask me, they say they offered him a deal. He just didn't accept it because it was less than what he wanted. He wanted to be a $20+ million guy, but his play on the field warranted about a 12 to 13 million a year guy. But anyway, just imagine those guys that don't take these big deals, how much better the team could be, and they will win more, and it'll give them longevity. It'll give them more longevity in this league. It'll give them more longevity, guys. Much more longevity in this league. But some of them are gone just because they took a bigger deal. And the team sucked. And who do everybody blame for the team suck? See, we don't talk about that either. Who do we blame when the team suck most of the times? The quarterback. The quarterback. Well, our team is okay, but he's just not enough to get us over the hump. It ain't even him. It's everything around him that's not making him look like enough to get him over the hump. See, y'all want a franchise quarterback that's going to make up for the flaws of the team. Ladies and gentlemen, let me be the first to tell you there's no such thing. There is no such thing as a quarterback that's going to make up for the flaws of the team. There's no such thing. Kaepernick was a monster his last year on a trash 49ers. If you look at his numbers, it wouldn't warrant that. It doesn't say he was but you know what? What's funny is I actually agree with you though, Joe Jones. I felt like he was still a really good quarterback. But do you see how everything around you can make you look? Do you see how everything around you can make you look? That's why people got even hopes for Rosen as well. The Cardinals had trash around him, man. Come on, man. School doesn't start until August. Man, what are you talking about? He's not a sophomore yet. The fall school year hasn't officially started, bro. And I keep telling all these Chiefs fans that keep on talking to me, y'all got 2 more years, man. You got 2 more years to win a Super Bowl. 2 more years to win a Super Bowl. If Mahomes win a Super Bowl this year, hypothetically, right? If they win a Super Bowl this year, if he's smart, he won't take $40 million a year. Because when they take $40 million, when he takes $40 million a year, watch how they adjust the rest of that team. Mahomes ain't gonna be no better than Matt Ryan. Good, but the team just keep on having their shortcomings. If he takes $40 million a year, they will be good with shortcomings, and all they will do is decline. It's inevitable, man. It's inevitable. It's ridiculous how the Ben Roethlisbergers of the world, the Joe Flacco's of the world, the Matt Ryans of the world, let me get some more quarterbacks in that era. The Peyton Manning, I mean, it's still their era, but y'all know what I mean. The era right before the Tannehills, the Cam Newtons, and all that. I'm talking about those quarterbacks. The Ben Roethlisbergers and all those guys. The Aaron Rodgers of the world. All those guys. Before their big money, man, everybody said they were going to be the next GOATs. Their teams would be in Super Bowl contentions every year. Man, where has Green Bay been? Where's Green Bay been? Where has Baltimore been? You know, where has the Denver Broncos been? Not Denver Broncos, but where has the Colts been? They got a great succession plan with Andrew Luck, but still, when he got his deal, what happened? People forget how much these quarterbacks was making. I remember when Ben and those guys were getting their deal back in the days. Oh my gosh, they signed them to a massive deal of $16 million a year. Do you realize that every year the quarterback amount went up and it was going up the right way? It was going up the freaking right way. But they wouldn't give him Ben and all of them big deals until their third contract. Where the NFL went wrong is when they start giving these guys the same money on their second contract. And they jumped up. I mean, the quarterbacks used to make about 7% of the team's salary. Do you know how different it is when these quarterbacks with $35 million starting to literally make almost 18% of the team's cap? If you know numbers, you'll understand that. Quarterbacks went from making about 7 to 8% of the cap to 16 and 17 and 18. And they're about to get into the 20% of the cap. It's crazy. That's the problem with this league. And if you're one of those teams that fell into that as well and start paying more percent of the cap, more than 10% of your cap going to a quarterback, now you know what the problem is. See, it was okay with the Tannehills getting in the Cams and all them getting $19 million a year on $190 million cap, about 10% of the cap. That was still high. Those were the new big deals, remember? But we're literally coming into a day and age where quarterbacks are getting 18% of the cap, like the rest of the roster in those positions don't even matter. The rest of the positions on the team don't even matter. Wide receivers used to get, a wide receiver used to get about 5% of the cap. Now the average is about 3% of the cap. Do you see where the quality of play is going? O-line has risen as well. Nobody's talking about that. O-line used to get, an O-lineman used to get like a 6% of the cap or 5% of the cap. And now we're talking some O-lineman, man, they reaching about O-lineman used to actually get like their contracts used to be like 3% of the cap. And now we got O-linemen reaching every bit of 6 and 7% of the cap. Do you see what's happening here? Do you know one position that's having a steep decline in this league on how much money they're getting paid? Let me see if y'all know. Actually, there's two positions that's having a very steep decline on how much they get paid. Let me see if y'all know what those two positions are. Steep decline. Safety. No, safety's getting money. Safety's getting money. As a matter of fact, they're kind of staying even keel. They're keeping up. Safeties are getting money. Running backs. You know what? Let me back up for a second. Running backs might be getting the steepest decline. You might be right. You know what? The great running backs are phasing out. Teams aren't falling in love with running backs anymore. The greatest running backs, they're letting them go on their new contracts, and they're just bringing in another guy. You know why? Because ever since Jerry Jones made his comment, and he proved it. Ever since Jerry, that's why I'm curious. They done stopped the Ezekiel Elliott contract talks. I'm wondering if he's going to stay. His recognition is big. He's going to make the franchise a lot of money. That might be the only reason they keep him. But ever since Jerry Jones made his comment and he proved it, running backs value across the whole league has dropped because of Jerry Jones, in my opinion. Jerry Jones came out there because remember when, what was the running back name? Who they had? It was DeMarco Murray. Was it DeMarco Murray before Ezekiel Elliott? I think it was, who was it? Was it DeMarco Murray? I think it was DeMarco Murray. They had DeMarco Murray, and he had a Pro Bowl year. He broke his highest records. I don't know, 12, 13, 1,400 yards. Like, he was amazing, and he was a free agent, and everybody was like, yo, we're going to bring DeMarco Murray back. But you know what they did? They went and drafted they got an Ezekiel Elliott. And what did the Cowboys fans do? What are we doing? Just like the Dolphin fans would do right now, just like they did with Ajayi and Landry. And Jerry Jones came out and said, y'all shut all that stupid crap up. He said straight up, he said, a Mack truck can run through these holes that we've been creating with this offensive line. And people were like, no, but DeMarco Murray was eating, man. You need the great. And Jerry Jones told his fan base, I got this. A Mack truck can run through these holes. Those was his exact words. A Mack truck can run through these holes. Those were his words. Came out and said it to the media. And look at Ezekiel Elliott. No difference. Even better. Even better. And on a rookie deal. Do you see why the Cowboys have had some success of late? On a rookie deal. I'm wondering if they're going to keep him. The fan base is going to be like, why would we get rid of Zeke? He might tell him, shut up again. A Mack truck can run through these holes. Because they put even more money on that O-line, signing Zach Martin to that big deal and everything. They still paying that O-line heavy. So I'm going to tell you now, it's not what it's about. You can't fall in love with these players, man. You can't fall in love with these players. Lindsey had 1,000 yards. Don't need a high-paying running back. You don't need a high-paying quarterback either. That's the point that I keep trying to drive to you all. Look at Dak Prescott. I don't care what nobody say. Dak Prescott is average. A little above average. Let me tell you why. That's why I keep telling y'all you don't need an elite quarterback. You just need a above-average quarterback that don't lose you games. He ain't got to be the reason you win. He just got to be the reason you don't lose. Throwing picks like Romo did. And fumbling and all that stuff. And Dak Prescott, they wondering about him too. Are they going to pay him too? Dak Prescott ain't elite, y'all. Let me tell y'all now. Because remember when Zeke was out? I already told y'all this story. I feel like I keep repeating it just to prove my point. Dak Prescott rookie year was amazing, but he had the best O-line, had a great running game with Ezekiel Elliott, right? Then when Zeke went down and two of them offensive linemen got hurt, I lived in Dallas. Y'all know that last year I was in Dallas. 4 months ago I was in Dallas. I just moved back home to Florida. And what happened whenever Ezekiel Elliott got suspended and two of them offensive linemen were hurt? Literally, the whole fan base, oh man, they were losing games. Dak looking like a bum. They were like, oh man, Dak ain't the answer, man. I'm glad we found this out now. I'm glad we know this now. We need another quarterback, man. Dak ain't the answer. He's good, but he ain't good enough to get us over the hump. He's just not the answer. Ezekiel Elliott comes back. Dak still ain't the answer, but we winning more in games. We still losing games. Dak is okay. He's playing a little better because he got his running game back. Now them offensive linemen come back. Dak the man. We in the playoffs. We this and that. Dak Prescott. Ooh, we got an elite quarterback. What are you talking about? Oh my gosh, did you not remember last year? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You see what a great team all around you because you got a Pro Bowl running back on a rookie deal. You got a Pro Bowl quarterback on a rookie deal. Did he go to the Pro Bowl, Dak Prescott? I think he was a replacement or something like that. Was he? Or am I tripping? I might be tripping. I don't know. But that's what I'm talking about. You make a slightly above average quarterback look great. And people talk about, oh, we got one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the league. You see what I mean? You don't need an elite quarterback. Because when you get an elite quarterback, you're going to pay him elite money, and then the rest of your team going to suck, and it's going to make that elite quarterback look right back to average at best. At best. At best, man. Look at every quarterback with at least 2 rings. Most Hall of Famers. Of course. But once again, are you looking at every quarterback with at least 2 rings, the team that they played on? See, we act like just because a quarterback got 2 rings, they did it all themselves. Do you know that there's people on those same rosters that got 2 rings? Show me any quarterback with 2 rings And I'll show you probably 5 or 6 people on that roster that got 2 rings too. So you're missing the point here. It ain't about the quarterback. Just because they're a Hall of Famer, and come on, let's be 100, man. What also make quarterbacks Hall of Famers are the rings. Are the rings. What solidify you as a Hall of Famer, and of course, there's quarterbacks without rings in the Hall of Fame, Dan Marino. But how many quarterbacks are in the Hall of Fame without a ring? How many quarterbacks are in the Hall of Fame without a ring? How about that? Dan Marino, you got to be that good. You got to be that good. That's why I keep telling people, get Dan Marino a ring, people will still be debating whether he's the greatest of all time. People will still be debating it. They'll be saying, yeah, but look what Brady's had and look what Marino had. Just give Marino 1 ring. People will be debating. People would be debating, man. People would be debating. But we want to talk about quarterbacks with more than 2 rings. Those same quarterbacks had great defenses and great teams around them. Great defense. Think about it. Russell Wilson would have 2 rings right now if the Legion of Boom never broke up, in my opinion. It's just my opinion, but I think he would have 2 if the Legion of Boom was still there. Flacco would have 2 if that Baltimore defense stayed together. Just my opinion. You know how many turnovers they were able to give Flacco on his own side of the field? Come on, man. And Flacco is slightly above average. See, now people want to be like, oh, Black Flacco sucks. He not this and that. Oh, but when he won a quarterback, everybody said he was the future. Oh, he was all good then. When he won a Super Bowl, I said quarterback. When he won a Super Bowl, it was all good then. Russ don't have 2 because they didn't run the ball. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, shoulda. That's like saying the Rams would have had 1 if they wouldn't have been offsides. Played and all. We don't know that. Play didn't even take place. I mean, woulda, coulda, shouldas. Woulda, coulda, shouldas, man. What up, Brian T? I see you. I agree. Dakota is good, not great. Dakota, Odak. Look at every quarterback with at least 2 rings. How many average QBs in history have 2 rings? That's a fair assessment. Not many at all, because they were able to keep it together. But you have to understand this, Wetson. You can't evaluate history in this regard. The way that the salary is being allocated in today's NFL is totally different from the way that the salaries were being allocated then. Quarterbacks weren't getting almost 20% of the salary cap then either. Quarterbacks were on a normal basis getting the same figure. Like everybody that was good was getting around that same figure. Some of these guys was literally getting like $12 million a year, and that was massive then. If you're looking at the immediate history about 15 years ago. You see what I mean? Salaries were totally different then. The allocation were different. So you can't just throw out how many mediocre quarterbacks were getting this then. Because the mediocre quarterbacks were getting $9 million and the great quarterbacks were getting 11. It wasn't that huge of a disparity. In today's NFL, the mediocre quarterback is getting 12 and 13 and 14, in some cases up to 19. But the great is getting double, 35 million, not even great, and taking Brady out of it. The new contract's getting 35 million. So you can't make that comparison. The salary allocation affects the whole roster. Back then, you didn't have to worry about cutting your running back short. You didn't have to worry about cutting your linebacker short. You didn't have to worry about cutting your cornerbacks, safeties, and fullbacks. All of them had a set amount that position deserved. And it was more about who can just get the best player in free agency, even though they all still going to get similar amounts. It wasn't a huge disparity. The top paid player in a position wasn't far off from the lowest payer in the position. You can have the best running back in the day getting $7 million and the lowest running back getting about 4. I mean, y'all know what I mean. You see what I'm saying here? It wasn't a huge disparity. Now the disparity is beyond obvious. It's scary. The disparity is scary, man. How your top getting double of what the average is getting? Back then, that's a better way to put it. Back then, the top would be getting, in any position, just hypothetically, the top would get 8 million and the average would get 6.5. You see what I'm saying here? That's the difference between whenever you say, oh, well, tell me what mediocre quarterback got 2 rings. The disparity wasn't that much of a difference. It was a lot more even play in the league. You literally had to look on field. Like, it was so much more competitive, too. Let's keep it 100. NFL was more competitive then. Why do you think the scoring is so much different? The average score, I'm going to guess. I could be wrong, but I'm going to guess. The average point total is at least 10 points higher than it was 10 years ago. And the final score of a game, putting both teams score together, the average is at least 10 points higher. And then they start showing favoritism to the offense and making it harder for the defense. This is a different NFL today. So when we compare the history of this and that, and this, at least my argument when I talk about the history is talking about what actually changed the history. So I don't want people to say, oh, you say you can't use history, but that's what you're using, saying look at the contracts before. But my argument is about what changed the history of this league. That's why I'm going back in the past. But your comment, you can't go back in the past and say which quarterback that was average won more than 2 Super Bowls. My argument on the reason why I can go in the past is because I'm showing the correlation of salary cap from the past to now. That is affecting this league, man. The salary allocation is totally affecting this league. And all these teams, a lot of these teams are being dumb about it. They're actually falling into the trap. They're going with the times. They're going with the times, and people are like, well, you got to go with the times. No, you don't. The problem is everybody's moving with the times. They're overpaying certain positions and underpaying others instead of still trying to build. It's the Patriots' fault, though. It's the Patriots' fault. Tom Brady just threw the whole league out of whack, and they've been trying to guess how to figure it out to overcome that. And those guesses have seen success, but success that still don't get them long-term success. And everybody, every time they see a glimpse of success, oh, it's the running quarterbacks. That's the new era. We need a running quarterback. Brady ain't no running quarterback. They screwing this league up. Everything that they see a little success on, that's what they want to go with. At one point, it was the running backs. They start overpaying the running backs. 8 years later, hold on, maybe it ain't the running backs. Do you see that a lot of running backs ain't getting them deals? See, 8 years ago, you will have 10 running backs getting big deals. Now you get like 2 or 3 of them. 2 or 3 of them that they even talking about. And the only ones that's giving them the big deals are the sorry teams. Why is it always the sorriest team giving the biggest deal? They falling right back into the system of why they going to be sorry again. They might see a little bit of success immediately, but it still ain't going to last long term. And that's the Patriots' fault. That is the Patriots and Brady's fault. Taking that pay cut, and that pay cut allowed the Patriots to maintain the same structure of a team for the last 20 years. The Patriots, the way that they structure their team is the same as it was in the 90s. The way the Patriots are structured is the same it was in the 90s. Salary cap allocation. Hey, the salary cap went up 3%. All right, in the computer, put every position up 3%. That's what we should be giving at that position. That's what they do. And then, matter of fact, they so good at it that when they do the right allocation, they got money left over. So they can tell us, they can tell a cornerback, hey, we're going to make you one of the only ones that we overpay on the team. Everybody else, they keep on having this immediate. Oh, it's the running backs. You need a great running back to win. Everybody went out and paid big money for a running back. They drafted running backs in the first round. Now you can't find a running back drafted in the first round. I mean, you can, but you know what I mean. It used to be 4 running backs in the top 15 picks in the draft. Now, I wonder how many running backs was running backs was in the top 15 this year? How many running backs came out this year in the top 15? Then all of a sudden it shifted whenever they realize it ain't just the running backs. You need a running game and a quarterback. Then they start spending money on the quarterbacks. I give you 3 more years. No, I give you 4 more years and I'll prove to you they're going to start getting away from this quarterback thing. That's why the Patriots are so far ahead of everybody else. That's why the Patriots are so far ahead of everybody else. They already know what's going on. It's not even a secret. It's not even a secret. Saquon went 2 in 2018. And what did that do for the Giants? Not saying he ain't going to be an intricate part for their future, but what did that do for the Giants? Some people will argue Saquon ain't going to make no difference. If you got a great O-line, Saquon don't make that much of a difference than King and Drake. King and Drake is good enough to get you help you win a Super Bowl. So why I need to go get a Saquon in the first round? King and Drake is good enough. Why do I need to go get a Saquon and waste the first round pick? I'll be better off getting a guy that's going to block in the first round for whatever running back I get. The Patriots, the way that they run their organization is the same as they ran it in the 90s. And they haven't left it. The other 31 teams left that model because they start seeing these mobile quarterbacks and said, this is the future. I ain't seen a mobile quarterback win more than 1 Super Bowl yet. I ain't seen a mobile quarterback win more than 1 Super Bowl yet to become the dynasty. And then you know why I say in 4 years they're going to get away from the quarterback situation too? Because Patrick Mahomes is going to be the last test. I don't know why RG3 wouldn't attest for him. I don't know why Cam Newton wouldn't attest for him. That is, it doesn't last long term. All it takes is 1 injury and he's not mobile anymore. He can still run a little, but he ain't the same. And you talk about some 22-year-old youth legs. When he's 27, it ain't the same. Mike Vick should have taught you that. I mean, people don't look at the history the right way. They don't look at the history the right way, man. Let me see what y'all talking about. This draft wasn't running back friendly. Okay,